Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 9:36. A beaming Mickey D. Witchy here from the lakes of Killarney. I'm in a B&B tonight. I might have been in a deluxe joint last night, but this is absolutely very basic altogether. But I'm after having a cup of coffee, and I'm a bit away from a pub, but I think I'll have to have a pint tonight. I had no pint since last Wednesday night. But I'm in the mood for it, so I may take a walk on the wild side, as the song says. Early day today, I woke at 5 o'clock this morning, my guts rattling, looking for food. It's a long time ago since that happened, but the 12 hours yesterday, the famine was taking its toll because I hadn't much last night, because I wasn't having a sit-down meal at that late, because I was starving. I had a small pizza actually, and I didn't do that in years either. But there's lots of things happening different this weather, so be it. Down for breakfast, I had to bus some of the stuff into it by 7:45. I had the full fry and lamped it into me, and there was fruit. The lad with a bird cage. I'd never seen that before, and there was all kinds of stuff in it. I sampled everything, and we headed for Cove. They wanted to go on that Titanic experience, so they went on the 10 o'clock one. We just made it, because it took them ages to bring down their suitcases. You swear they were going to the moon with all the bags they have, and they're only here for a week. But they went on the Titanic, and then I said to them, I have a little surprise for you. So for fear it was the Blarney Castle, and it wasn't, they asked me, because they didn't want to go. And I said no. I said so I brought them to Middleton, to the distillery, Jameson Distillery. I said in Ireland, when there was three of them, the seven died on the Titanic. When you're going to that Titanic experience, you're given the identity of one of the passengers on the boat that night. So some of them can live and some of them not live. So three of them died. So I said after an Irish death, there's always a wake. And at the wake, there's drink, and at part of the drink is whiskey. So we were there before 12. So we just enjoyed it to pieces, and them all had spent about 20, as they were saying, 20 bucks a piece. So they had a mighty time. Check that out on the map. Terry Middleton. Terry was on to me this morning early, while I was in Cove actually. He was checking out St Mary's Cathedral in Kilkenny, and he got photographs inside. He was on about the stained glass and that. So check Middleton out tomorrow, and check the whiskey out inside. They bought bottles of whiskey too, the girls, back for their grandmother and for neighbours, some small ones. So we headed from there to Killarney for lunch. I had an absolutely fabulous lunch. I joined them for lunch. Don paid for the lot, for the 8 of us. I had stew, or casserole, but it was really stew, but casserole, it's grand, lovely. They all had Guinness with it, 2 pints apiece as well. Bar the woman, she had a half of one. And we headed in for the castle in Killarney, Ross Castle, and we went out to Muckross House, and then we done the waterfalls, and I dropped them. They're staying in the Lake Hotel tonight, so I was just as happy not to be that far away because from the town. So we're off early in the morning. We're going to Kinmare first. I'm picking them up at 9 o'clock, and then we're heading. We'll finish up sort of in Dingle and be back here for 6. They have dinner booked again tomorrow evening, but they've it booked in town here, and they're a good bit out, so I might have to do I'll do them a twist tomorrow night. I'll pick them up and drop them back probably. So I don't know what time I'll be able time to have a video at. So going grand, I must say. I meant to say last night as well, there was a few newcomers that left messages the night before, comments, and I normally reply to people and welcome them on the bus. But I answered nobody back, but I read every message, and I'll jot them down when I get a chance, and I'll mention you maybe next Monday night. How's that? So that brings us on to the racing today, and it was boom, boom, boom. actually throughout the day, I was thinking, right, we've a fair shot at winning the first one if the race pans out the way I think it will, and it did. And I was saying we'll probably win the last as well because I thought, and I was saying the dodgy one could be the one in the middle because it was a heap of money today and it was well tipped up. I was told by a couple of people, the second favourite. And then it drifted out. Someone sent me a message. It's gone to 13-8. I didn't see that, but I was. But Moore gave it a great ride, and it won well. And he couldn't pull it up. Probably should have backed it for the ledger before today, but today was the first day as well. I got caught, and I didn't know about it. They weren't paying Bog best odds guaranteed with the green bouquet, and I had King Ferdinand at 7-2, and he won at 11-2. I didn't get it, and I didn't get the 100-30 on the first one today. I was annoyed over that. I didn't know that because I'm not betting with him anymore. That's it. They're finished. They're out the gap. I don't know what's the story with the rest of them. I think I got an email, all right, at the start of the 4th of July. Oh, happy Independence Day to all the Americans watching. We have a good few. Today's their big day. So, 3 grand winners, I must say, and I got several messages. One fella in Galway had a tenner at Trixie. He didn't do as I was told him. Good lad. And Sorka from Dublin, she done exactly as I said, and she actually fared out better. She got the best odds guaranteed, and she got the 100-30. So that's it. Bet small, win big. Anyway, on to tomorrow. It's not. I couldn't find much, and I was doing it for an hour this morning, and I spent an hour there this evening. But I've 2, and I may add one in the morning. 5:20 at Thirsk, Mr. Wagyu, Grand Old Campaigner. He has won 15 out of a total of 76, but he has won 7 of them in July. What month are we in? We're in July. He won in the Curra last July. He won, the rest of them are all in June, but he has won 2 in July in 2 different years, if you want to check it back. And the last time he ran was in Ascot in a Class 2, and he always run fairly competitively, I'll tell you. We're in July, so I'm hoping that tomorrow he can keep that going. He always has an orange hat. He's easy to pick him out.
Apollo 1 has just come through to lead. Here's Mums Tipper with a chance under Frankie Dettori. King's Lynn on the far side is rattling home. Down the centre is St. Lawrence from Jean Le Pen and Orazio trying to get there. These are the contenders. Apollo 1, St. Lawrence, Jean Le Pen racing up towards the line. St. Lawrence is doing best. It's St. Lawrence for the Wokingham. Apollo 1 probably second, Jean Le Pen.
That's one of the most competitive handicaps in the racing calendar, and 27 runners, and he finished 7th, not beaten that far. He's a big horse. He should be well able to carry the tin stone too. So he opened up 7-2 earlier. He's into 9-4. There you go. Into 9-4. Oh, he's gone 7-4 in places. I missed that now. I haven't been back actually yet, because I was saying I wouldn't do it with no guaranteed odds. That a whore. The other one, that'll be a win bet. The other one is in Tipperary tomorrow night. A horse we backed last year in Galway, and he was desperate and lucky that night. Pale Moonlight. It was in the 3-year-old race, the 1.5 miles. He was beaten by a nose. You see it there on the 28th of July last year in the 1.5 mile handicap. And he was 17-2, and I think we backed him at 9 or 10-1, and he was desperate and lucky altogether. I haven't tipped him up since, but I thought he ran well enough the last day to nearly put him right. Where are we here? He's with the yellow cap and the rolling lamb
As they
colours.
run the approach to the straight, they're back at their point of departure. 3 furlongs to go. Perfect Arch gathered in by Smooth Going with the nose band striking. And then Sheerford. There's a thought up the inside. They're being followed by Eldorado, Rock and Forge Road and Red Vermilion next with Pale Moonlight, Nellat and Fedoom racing to the final 2 furlongs and striking us back in front. Eldorado, Rock on the outside of Red Vermilion. They're followed by There's a Thought, Perfect Arch weakens, Pale Moonlight in the middle of the track, and then Elat and Fedoom next with Sheafra, but it's striking the one to catch inside the final 200 yards, and it's striking in the lead. Shane Foley has all angles covered as he takes another peep back. It's striking a second.
So the 10-pound claimer, Gerline, was on at that day. She wasn't able to even get him to switch his leads coming up the stretch, or her leads, I should say. But Chris Hayes is back again in the irons tomorrow, and he was on it when it was second, wasn't he? Yeah, he was on it in Galway, and that was 65 and down now to 62. The only danger is at this time of the year that horses might be getting ready for Galway, but it's the third run back after the layoff. I like that angle. There's a horse as well. Keep an eye on this horse tomorrow, Belgo Prince. This lad could be geared himself for Galway, Tony Merton. But if there was big money for this, maybe do a small reverse forecast or something. But it won in 2021 as a 4-year-old, won off 60. But the day that, what day was it? The day he was 25 to 1. Stevenson's day there in 2021. Didn't run at all. He only beat me nose that I was on him. It didn't run at all, and he has 3 runs this year. We'll just have a quick look at his last run. He's in about 7th or 8th place. Not too busy.
A lead of 3 parts over Art of Silent Excelsior.
Sorry, 10th place.
Red Vermilion,
The green and the yellow on the outside.
Mephisto, Zaleo, Manuel, Belgo, Prince Orden, more than limited edition. Bula Bula's driven harder than Abraham, and Beautiful Chaos inside the final 3 furlongs. In the last one, the Bulmers live at Leopardstown Handicap, and it is C. Oscar trying to kick with Extensio round the outside closing. Weakening his Art of Silence, being followed then by Red Vermilion, Charlie Luciano and Zaleo, and then Beautiful Chaos up the rail, racing to the final furlong. C. Oscar continues in front of Extensio in the centre, and then Red Vermilion, Art of Silence, Zaleo, Beautiful Chaos, Charlie Luciano, Abraham and Auden Morden, and Belgo, Prince and Mephisto, well inside the final furlong, and there's no catching C. Oscar, who's lengthening clear under Dylan Brown McMonigal. Extensio second.
Oh, tomorrow might be just a spin because he could be going to Galway. But there's a race in him on the flat and over hurdles. So we'll keep an eye on him tomorrow. But I'd say back this each way, Pale Moonlight. 5 to 1, 11 to 2. Each way bet and a win bet. If there's one more, I'll get it in the morning. There was one I was looking at, but I just want to see what's the story. Roll it. Anyway, I'll do this. I'm bidding farewell to the land of my youth and the home I love so well, and the mountains so grand brown, my own native land. I'm bidding them all farewell. With an aching heart I'll bid them adieu, for tomorrow I'll sail far away o'er the raging foam, for to seek a home on the shores of America. It's not for the want of employment I'm gone, it's not for the love of fame, that fortune bright may shine over me and give me a glorious name. It's not for the want of employment I'm gone, o'er the weary and stormy sea, but to seek a home for my own true love on the shores of America. And when I am bidding my last farewell, the tears like rain will blind. To think of my friends in my own native land and the home I'm leaving behind. But if I'm to die in a foreign land and be buried so far, far away, no fond mother's tears will be shed o'er my grave on the shores of America. That's for the American people listening in, and I know there's a good few. Happy 4th of July. Last words went to Terry Woods as Master Dream crossed the line tonight to hit the Trixie and treble. He's shouted, "Get in there, my son." I actually said, "Get in there, my son." Bash the bookies, over and out.